The shocking truth about living in the UK. Good day everyone, and welcome back to your favourite YouTube channel. Thank you for always being there for us. Today we are diving into the shocking truth about living in the UK. There is more to this country than meets the eye, and while many see the UK as a land of opportunity, it is not and can never be without its challenges. From the unpredictable weather to housing costs, many things are shocking about this great kingdom. We will explore the shocking truth about living in the UK. If you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more in-depth videos on life in different parts of the world. Now, let's get started. 10. Unpredictable weather. One of the biggest surprises for those moving to the UK is just how unpredictable the weather can be. The stereotype of constant rain isn't entirely accurate, but you'll need to carry an umbrella most days. UK experiences a temperate maritime climate, which means that the weather changes frequently, sometimes drastically. It's not uncommon to experience sunshine, rain, wind, and even hail all on the same day. This unpredictability can be frustrating, especially if you're used to more stable climates. People often joke that the British talk about the weather so much because it's so varied, and they're not wrong. Even in the summer months, temperatures can vary, and a sunny morning could easily turn into a stormy afternoon. For those planning outdoor activities, the ever-changing weather can put a dampener on plans, and adjusting to this takes time. 9. The housing crisis. Finding affordable housing in the UK can be a real challenge. The UK is notorious for its expensive property market, particularly in major cities like London, where house prices are among the highest in Europe. Renting isn't much better. Renters are often faced with stiff competition for properties, and rental prices are significantly higher than in any other country. The housing crisis stems from a combination of factors, including a lack of affordable homes being built and high demand. For first-time buyers, getting on the property ladder can seem like an impossible dream, especially when house prices continue to rise while wages remain relatively stagnant. The government's various schemes to assist buyers have had limited impact, and the housing shortage is a continuing issue. Whether you're buying or renting, houses in the UK will likely be one of your biggest expenses, making it a shocking reality for those unprepared for the costs. 8. Public transport can be a mixed bag. The UK is renowned for its extensive public transportation network, but it's not without its flaws. While it's true that public transport is widespread, especially in major cities, it can also be expensive, unreliable, and overcrowded. For instance, train fares are notoriously high, and delays are common due to the aging infrastructure. Commuting during peak hours can be a nightmare, with trains and buses packed to the brim. In London, the underground system, Tube, is efficient but also prone to frequent disruptions, especially during maintenance works. Outside of the major cities, public transport options can be limited, with fewer buses or trains available, particularly in rural areas. For newcomers, the initial appeal of not needing a car can quickly wear off once they experience the daily grind of UK commuting. Whether it's the rising costs or overcrowding, public transport is a significant downside for many residents. 7. The high cost of living. Living in the UK can be expensive, particularly in larger cities. The high cost of housing is just the beginning. Everything from groceries to utilities can quickly add up. In cities like London, Edinburgh and Manchester, the cost of living is much higher than in smaller towns or rural areas. Essentials like food and transport tend to cost more, and bills can take a considerable chunk out of your salary. Even though the UK has a good standard of living, it's offset by the fact that many people are living paycheck to paycheck, with a little left over for savings or luxuries. For anyone moving to the UK, it's crucial to budget carefully and be prepared for higher expenses, particularly if you're used to a more affordable cost of living elsewhere. 6. Bureaucracy and red tape. The UK has a reputation for being bogged down with bureaucracy. Whether you're trying to set up a bank account, deal with a visa application, or register with a doctor, the process can be slow and frustrating. The paperwork involved in even the simplest tasks can feel overwhelming, especially for foreigners. Visas in particular can be a long and complex process, with strict requirements that can be difficult to navigate. For anyone planning to work or study in the UK, understanding the legal requirements can be a challenge, and many find themselves facing delays or unexpected hurdles. Bureaucracy affects many aspects of life in the UK, and it's something that can take time to get used to. 5. The British Reserve. While Brits are known for their politeness, they're also quite reserved compared to other cultures. Making friends and establishing social connections can take time, as many people tend to keep to themselves, especially in urban areas. This cultural difference can come as a shock for expats, particularly those from countries with more open and social cultures. Breaking into social circles might require persistence, as people in the UK often prefer to keep their personal lives private. However, once you break through that reserve, you'll find that British people are loyal friends. This reserved nature can take some getting used to, but it's not impossible to overcome with time and patience. 4. Long waiting times for healthcare. While the National Health Service, NHS, is one of the UK's proudest achievements, it's not without its issues. One of the most shocking aspects of life in the UK is the long wait times for non-urgent healthcare. The NHS is stretched thin, with increased demand for services and limited resources. This often means that patients face significant waiting times for specialist appointments, elective surgeries, and even GP consultations. While emergency services are still relatively quick, anyone needing routine care might find themselves waiting weeks, if not months. For those coming from countries with more efficient healthcare systems, this can be a frustrating adjustment. 3. Job market competition. The UK job market is highly competitive, which can be a challenge for both locals and newcomers. With a large population and a highly skilled workforce, finding a job in your preferred industry can take time and effort. Graduates often face stiff competition for entry-level positions, and even experienced professionals can find it difficult to secure roles in saturated fields like finance, tech, and media. This competitiveness is further intensified by the influx of international talent, particularly in London and other major cities. Employers often seek candidates with niche skills, relevant experience, and strong educational backgrounds. For non-UK residents, obtaining a work visa adds an extra layer of complexity, making it even harder to break into the job market. While opportunities do exist, it's essential to have a well-prepared CV, good networking skills, and perseverance to navigate the highly competitive UK job market successfully. 2. Brexit complications. Brexit has had a massive impact on life in the UK, particularly for those looking to move to the country. The UK's decision to leave the European Union has introduced new visa requirements, travel restrictions, and additional paperwork for EU nationals. While the full effects of Brexit are still unfolding, it's clear that it has complicated things for businesses, workers, and students alike. For those coming from outside the UK, it's important to understand how Brexit might affect your ability to live, work, or study in the country. 1. The rising cost of everything. Finally, the biggest shock to anyone living in the UK is the rising cost of just about everything. From food to fuel, the cost of living has increased significantly in recent years. Inflation, coupled with supply chain disruptions and economic uncertainty, means that prices are climbing faster than wages. For many, this has created a real strain on household budgets, with some having to make tough choices between essentials. Whether you're a student, working professional, or retiree, the rising cost of living is something that everyone in the UK has to contend with, and it shows no sign of slowing down. Living in the UK comes with its fair share of surprises and challenges. While it offers many opportunities, there are also some shocking realities that newcomers should be prepared for. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.